Hello everyone, Mike here with another Star Wars Destiny deck video. Recently created a new deck. I'm just going to share it with you now. So our starting location, or just our location, is the Rebel War Room from Yavin 4. Basically says claim, resolve one of your dice. If it has a resource cost, you do not have to pay it. Pretty simple. Basically claim the location. If you have like something that has a 2 melee damage for the cost of a resource, you can resolve it without paying that resource. So fairly simple location. We're going with that. Into our characters, I am running one Darth Vader. So we're running one Vader for the 16 points. Has 13 hit points. Has 2 melee damage, 3 melee damage, 2 disrupt, 1 shield, 1 resource, 1 blank. And after you activate this character, you may force an opponent to discard a card from their hand. So we're running one of him. And then we are running 2 First Order Stormtroopers. They have 7 hit points. They are worth 7 points each, so 2 of them for 14 plus 16 gets us to our 30-point limit. So 7 hit points, 1 range damage, 2 range damage, 2 range damage at the cost of a resource, 1 resource, and 2 blanks. The blanks are going to be fairly important here in a little bit. I'll let you know why. So there's 2 of the Stormtroopers, running 2 of their dice. Into our equipment, we're running 2 Kylo Ren lightsabers. It's a unique, so you can only have 1 attached at a time. Cost 3 resources. Has a 3 melee for the cost of a resource, a +2 melee, a +3 melee, 1 shield, 1 special. Can only go on blue characters. And if you roll the special, you can deal 2 damage to a character. If any of the damage is blocked by shields, you get to re-roll this die instead of removing it from your pool. So there's 2 of the Kylo Ren lightsabers. We're also running just 2 regular generic lightsabers. They cost 3 resources. It has redeploy, so after the character it's on is defeated, you can move it to another character. It has 3 melee damage at the cost of a resource, +2 melee, 1 shield, 1 resource, 1 special, 1 blank. And if you roll your special, you can do 2 unblockable damage to a character. So it does 2 damage, and shields can't prevent any of that damage. And that's just 2 of those generic lightsabers. I'm running 1 Immobilize. So it's an ability, costs 2 resources, has 1 disrupt, it's blue characters only, and as an action, you can remove this die to turn a die to a side, showing a blank. Basically, you can mess with your opponent's dice. So again, 2 resources, 1 disrupt, 1 shield, 2 shields, a resource, and a blank. Next, we have 1 Mind Probe. So it costs 4 resources. It's also an ability. It has 3 range damage for the cost of a resource, 2 disrupt, 2 discard, 2 special sides, and a blank. Blue character only, and it's deal an opponent character damage for each card in that opponent's hand. So they have 3 cards in their hand, it does them 3 damage. We're only running 1 of it for now. If once I pick up another couple starter sets, I'm probably going to add another one to this deck. We're running 1 D817 Blaster Pistol. This is a neutral card. Costs 1 resource, has 1 range damage, 2 range damage for the cost of a resource, +2 range damage, 1 shield, and 2 blanks. The blanks, again, I'll let you know why we're using so many blanks here in a moment. So there's 1 D817 Blaster. We're running 1 Infantry Grenade. So it's 2 resources. It's neutral, or not neutral, but neutral colors. So you can put it on any character that's a villain. We have 1 range damage, 2 range damage for the cost of a resource, 1 special, 2 blanks. And the special is deal 2 damage to each of an opponent's characters and then discard this upgrade from play. So basically the grenade explodes and then it gets discarded. And again, that has 2 blanks as well. We have 2 Datapad. Datapads are neutral and they can go on any character. So they cost... Right here. It wants to focus. So there we go. One resource has a one resource side, a plus one resource side, plus one resource special, and two blanks. If you roll the special, you can turn a die to a side not showing damage. So this is really cool because basically you turn another die to a special side, resolve this special, and since you can resolve like sides at the same time, you can resolve the special on something else at the same time as this. So again, that's two data pads, and again, it has two blanks, which we'll be using a little bit later in the game. We have two personnel escorts, and this is an ability. Basically, so it says pay one resource. You can give a target character the Guardian keyword. So when you activate them, you can basically resolve a die and deal damage to that character instead. It's a good way to keep Vader alive. So you're going to throw these escorts on your Stormtroopers to essentially soak up damage that might otherwise go to Vader. That's not really focusing, but let's see if we can get it to focus. There we go. Yeah, attached character has the Guardian keyword, and it'll cost one resource. Again, that's two of those. So basically one per Stormtrooper to split damage between themselves and not have it go on Vader. You have two of the First Order TIE Fighters. This is a support, so it costs three resources. It has a 1 damage side, 2 damage side, 3 damage for the cost of 1 resource, 1 disrupt, 1 special, 1 blank, and the special says remove all shields from all of an opponent's characters. Ties in very well with a data pad. So if I have this showing range damage, I can use a data patch special to roll this to the special side and then resolve both of them, or resolve the special on this, removing all the shields from an opponent's characters. And again, that's two TIE Fighters. We have two It Binds All Things. This is a neutral card. Costs 1 resource, and it says basically before you play a blue upgrade, you may exhaust the support to reduce the cost by 1. So basically, if I have this out, you exhaust it by essentially tapping it like you do in Magic, and that would reduce the cost of a blue upgrade by 1. So a lightsaber normally costs 3. If I use this, it would cost 2. You can actually use 2 at the same time. So you exhaust one, you exhaust the other to drop something by 2. So again, 2, It Binds All Things. This is just going to reduce the cost of our blue upgrades. So we can maybe have some resources left over for later in the round. And here's where all those blanks come into play. So we have 2 Power of the Dark Side. So support costs 2 resources. Says as an action, exhaust this support to reroll one of your dice. If it rolls on a blank side, it deals 2 unblockable damage to a character. So reroll a die, turns up blank, and an opponent's character takes 2 unblockable damage. And shields will do nothing against that. And again, that is 2 Power of the Dark Side. One of the stars in this deck because you're going to be re-rolling stuff, hoping to get blanks. So that's why we have a lot of cards and a lot of dice that will be giving us those blank sides to use with this. You have 2 Isolation. Isolation costs 1. It says spot a blue character to remove a character die. So basically, if Vader's out in the game and he's still alive, you just spot Vader, pay this 1 resource, play this card, and remove a character die from your opponent's pool. And again, that's 2 isolations. You have 2 Abandon All Hope. It's an event. It basically says force an opponent to choose to either discard their entire hand or lose all their resources, and they choose which one to do. So if they have a good card that they're holding on to that requires a lot of resources, they might want to hold on to their hand, but they're going to lose all their resources. It's going to slow them down. Or the other way around, if they have like a card they really want to keep, but then they lose all their resources, they lose all their cards. So either way, it's definitely not good for them. So we have 2 Abandon All Hope. We have 2 Tactical Mastery. So it's a 1 cost event, and it says basically spot a red character to take up to 2 additional actions. So if any of your Stormtroopers are still alive, you can pay the 1 resource cost, spot the Stormtrooper, and then do 2 additional actions. So you can roll out some characters, you can then resolve the dice pretty much immediately, and things like that. So 2 Tactical Masteries in the deck. Have 2 occupation. Occupation costs 2. You can only play it if you control the battlefield, and it forces your opponent to lose all their resources. So maybe just wait a while until they have quite a few resources. Go ahead, claim the battlefield, and then the next turn, play this, and they're going to lose all their resources. So there's 2 of the occupation. We also have 2 dug in. Cost 1, you can only play it if you control the battlefield. Give 3 shields to your characters, distributed as you wish. So if I have the personnel escort on the Stormtroopers, I might throw 1 shield on one Stormtrooper, 1 on the other, maybe 1 on Vader, maybe 2 on one, 1 on the other. Basically, just a nice way to get 3 shields. However, you do have to control the battlefield to use it. That's 2 of those. And finally, we have 2 nowhere to run, and this is going to come into with the blanks as well. So 2 resources. It's an event. Turn each of your dice showing a blank to any side. So you roll your dice for power to the dark side, get the blanks you need, cause the 2 unblockable damage, and then later you can use nowhere to run to turn those blanks into something useful. Turn it into damage, turn it into specials, turn it into whatever. So it's a good way to basically get more use out of your dice. And again, we're running 2 of those. So that is this current Star Wars Destiny deck. Let me know what you think of the deck. I'll leave in the description. I'll leave the deck list. So if you guys want to build a deck yourself, you're more than welcome to. If you play with the deck, let me know how it plays for you. Again, I'll be back in the future with more Star Wars Destiny deck videos. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.